I'm a public address announcer. That's what I
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Please.
Yo, you said that before. Now you got me ready to come see your public address announcements.
I'm pretty good.
I'm saying you got me ready to come see him, man. You advertised already, and that, huh?
You saw what I did?
What?
I put it out there on Facebook, like, because this coach came up to me and he was like, yo, listen. I said, yo, can I say something to you? I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, yo, listen, I've gone to a bunch of high school games. You're the best. I said,
oh, word.
I said, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, and at the time I was like, damn, I wish I had my camera, nigga. I said, yo, I want to get on camera. So then, luck of it, we come out the locker room. This dude's still there. I'm like, yo, my man, could you do me a favor? Could you say what you just said to me again? You know what I'm saying? And he was able, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo.
I gotta come out and check that out, though. I gotta come out and check that out.
Right now, basketball's over now, so I got to go into the football season. Unless I get a call from, maybe a state playoff game or something like that. If not, you know what I'm saying? I'll be football in August, and then we do basketball again, and you know what I mean? So
yeah, most definitely. I got with another referral agency.
Okay.
Got with another referral agency. I gotta put you down with that.
Okay.
They're running specials. They're running more specials now, and they claim
more specials.
Huh?
What do you mean by more specials?
All right. So they claim to be the top referring source for therapists.
Sure.
Yeah, around. So what I'm saying to you is that they charge per month.
Oh, per month.
Yeah, but they're giving out too much free. But they're guaranteeing at least one referral. And because I'm a Black therapist and I specialize in drug and alcohol, they're saying that I could get upwards to 3 to 5
I can see that.
per week.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'll find out. Like I said, we got this. I met with a judge last night, you know what I'm saying, with my boy, with this guy, big time judge down in Camden County or whatever. So he pointed us in the right direction with some people. So we just got to run down on them and see what's going on. And then once I find that out, then, of course, I'm going to plug you and, you know what I'm saying, share the information, share the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So, but in the interim, just do the application and shit and do your thing for that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That application is definitely coming through. I started a little bit of it, but I'm also going to get some people to look over it.
Got you.
I have, to connect with an APN that can prescribe, but I just want them to prescribe a urine test.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just write the script so they can go to what's that lab? Yeah, go to a lab and just take the urine test.
Gotcha. That's what it is.
Yeah, so what's next, man? What's next for Four Walls? What's next for Jason Brice?
So I think what's next for me is the motivational speaking, man. I think it's the motivational speaking. I think it's the step out on faith to, my business. I mean, sometimes I've been in a big dilemma, and you know this from when we first met, right?
I was most definitely
grappling and trying to figure out, like, yo, do I leave now? Do I wait? Do I leave? Do I wait? You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I'm coming out of having cancer and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what to do, man. But now I'm almost at the finish line. And so now it's no more grappling. It's like, I had to, either way, whether I've left early or I left, when I leave, it's still a step out on faith because I'm giving up my guaranteed state job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My guaranteed job, I could ride to I'm 67 or 65 or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, and really be sitting sweet. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna take a chance, bro. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take a chance. So I'm gonna step out on faith, and I'm gonna believe in God that He put me in this position. He told me what to do, and He built me up. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, between the speaking and running the business and really trying to, kind of like build my brand and set myself aside from other people. I think that I can do this, man.
I think automatically you stand out. You know what I mean? I think your character stands out. I think your swag stands out. I think your authenticity stands out most of all. And it's very rare to get an authentic therapist. It sounds crazy, you know what I mean? But it is. It's very rare to get someone authentic and not, like a bot. You know what I mean? So to
You're,
say.
you're right, though. So, like, so I was counseling this couple of days ago, right? So I don't even know if we talked about this, man. Last Friday, I found out that I lost to becoming the Salem County Counselor of the Year, right? I lost to this lady. I know this lady for nothing or whatever like that, humbly speaking, she's not me, you know what I'm saying? I don't think she's doing what I'm doing, but she won, right? So who knows? I mean, I do think that she was friends with the person that is the president, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So the political thing.
It could be cronyism. Who knows? But here's what I do know. I know that I didn't win it because God didn't want me to win it. And I'm going to tell you why he didn't. Because for whatever reason, I wanted it. Right? I wanted it real badly. But what I realized, though, is that why did I need it when God already stamped my approval? So which one carried more weight for me? That
Most
little,
definitely.
you know what I'm saying? Or God's approval? And how that came to like fruition or to how it concluded for me was meeting with this couple. And, we talked and I'm introduced, I always introduce myself to, let them know I've been counseling for this amount of years, blah, 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 this and that, blah, right? And she was like, yo, listen, we're already familiar with you. I was like, oh, word? Oh, okay. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, how are you familiar with me? Like, so we did the session, whatever, the session's over. And I was like, yo, listen, you know what? Listen, familiar with me. Yo, she said she called like 2 or 3 places, and everybody, the places that she called, and she was looking for an African-American therapist that did couples counseling and I do counseling. And she said they all mentioned my name. And then on top of it, she said, and then also in addition, now this is going to kill you. This is going to make you laugh. She said, where I work at, and I work at a dispensary, she said that she knew some of the clients that came in to the dispensary and she had asked them. And they said, oh, you got to go to Jason Brice. So I seem to be popping in the dispensary.
In the dispensaries.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Your name is ringing bells in the dispensaries.
Yo, humbly speaking,
that is hilarious.
Spread, hey, man, you know what I mean?
I tell you what, the validation thing, right?
Absolutely.
The validation thing. I actually had a session with a young lady. And we were talking about validation. And I mean, she did something, not to disclose too much, she did something that I had to acknowledge.
Right.
Basically, I had to acknowledge, and I told her I was proud of her. And she started to weep. And I'm like, what are you weeping about? Oh, I've been waiting for someone outside of myself to tell me that they're proud of me. And I said, well, I had to make the decision, right?
Right.
To not only identify something you did, right?
Sure.
But acknowledge it, right?
Right.
The thing is that you got to go back to the beginning. I had to make the decision to acknowledge, right? What you did and give you props for what you did, right? What if I chose not to make that decision? Will that make you any less proud of yourself? So now, what we can got, I'm all twisted up, but what we can control, right, is us telling ourselves we proud of ourselves. I can't control you telling me you proud of me, but I can control me saying that I'm proud of me. Does that make sense to you?
No, absolutely. And it's not that I don't have that, right? And it's not, I don't think sometimes I think we have that, right? But if you don't sometimes, you know what, it's like, the work you do and God knows the work you do because that's why, not just because of the work, but, that's why you have blessings, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't know why I felt like, I wanted to win something. Like, I feel like all the stuff that I do down at that school, it's like I don't get acknowledged. And it's like, why did I need it? And that's what I'm saying. That just comes to a place where I was like, you know what? I was lacking faith. Like, why did I need it? Because it wasn't like I was doing it for the recognition. No, I'm doing what I'm doing.
But you know what, Jay? Not to cut you off, man, but you know what? People need to hear that particular part.
Yes.
Because people need to understand that we're human.
Yes.
We're human beings. And we,
we need that from time to time. And it's like, and I'm not going to say like, my people at work don't appreciate me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, I know Miss O'Brien does. I know Mr. Golden. I know Miss Edwards, previously Miss Heatweight, previously Mr. Arbalez. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, Dr. Kobe, all these different people, man. Like, I ain't going to tell you, I love my job. I mean, we may not get along all the time. I mean, I can get along, but we may not agree or see things the same way. But we always end up at the same destination. And the reason why is because we all want what's best for the people that we're supporting. You know what I'm saying? We just have different avenues of going about it.
Most definitely. I had to acknowledge myself as a walking resume, right?
Okay.
Because the last 5 positions that I've had have been strictly off of someone knowing who I am and how I do what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I do view that as a blessing. You know what I mean? The thing is that that's an earned blessing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's an earned blessing. You know what I mean? How to better control your successes and blessings from GED to college degree, right there. But I mean, I'm not to say we all fall short. You know what I mean? But I do put my best foot forward on a regular basis, regardless of whether someone chooses to acknowledge that or not. I'm going to give myself props for that. You know what I mean? If they don't see it, then guess what, man? You just cheated yourself out of a experience. You know what I mean?
And I think, no, you're absolutely right? So, the way I look at it, and I look at it where I kind of learned was that, what we do, and everybody's the same, you know what I'm saying? They might look at things differently, but we're kind of all the same, right? What I do is because I've been blessed to be able to do it. And so, yeah, I definitely give nothing but props to the Father Almighty, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, I'm like, I want to hear that, it's me. But that could be even egotistical sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because I always want to be in a humble position. But you're right, though. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I'm good at this counseling thing. Like, this thing, I don't know much about anything else, but I know this. And I remember I was this family was from New York. They were living out here in, I think, Mount Laurel, I think. And, I'm coming out there and they're saying, oh, Mr. Brice, you this is not counseling. I know it's not counseling. You're just having conversation with them and you're talking with them, and that's not counseling. You know what I mean? No, you're not this. I said, listen, with all due respect, okay, what do you do for work? And he said, well, he cleans windows, but not windows like he on the street with a spray bottle. Nah, he cleans like office building windows, skyscrapers or whatever.
Now, don't go hating on people that clean windows now, Jay.
I'm not doing that. But what I had to tell him is that, listen, what your expertise is in cleaning windows. So you know what that looks like, whether it's clean right, whether it's positioned right, whether how they got to have the safety net, all that. You know what I mean? Like, you're a master in that, okay? But when you start to step outside your window realm and now you coming into my realm.
Man, you wild. You wild as hell, Jay.
But you see, I break it down. Like, how can you tell me where I'm mastered in this? You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you about your windows. Don't tell me about counseling.
So, but what I did notice is that when I began to develop as me, when I began to be my authentic self, when it came to this skill, I started to dance with it. Not to the point where I played with it. No, I didn't play with it, but I started to dance with it. I started to deliver these theories not in my own way, but as me. I started to deliver these theories as myself, my authentic self.
Gotcha.
So my documentation reflected exactly what I did. And when you look at, the documentation and you say, okay, now I can relate to what I just saw.
Right.
I have a plethora of experiences where I've somewhat wowed my seniors. You know what I mean? And I mean, now that we've arrived, and I consider myself a senior in this field now, I can understand why I did that, because I had the pleasure. I will say it. I had the pleasure of entering into this field as an adult.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was 34 years old when I earned my GED.
Right.
And I came in the door, man, and I did what I had to do, and I couldn't I don't know if I could be anybody else. I don't know. I was developed as a human being. Put it that way.
Right,
You
I
know what I
got you.
mean? But I
Right,
developed skills along the way, so on and so
sure.
forth. But I couldn't deliver it as if I was anyone else. I
Right.
had to deliver this skill as if it's
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and that's yeah,
You developed your own style, and I think that's what
yeah,
makes people authentic. You know what I'm saying? I know I was in a conversation with because I think what I'm saying, I tell you I'm gonna be doing this speaking thing, and the lady was like, hey, listen, man, you got to kind of develop your own style or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but what I've noticed though is that the way I think that I am set apart is that my style is very different from the prototypical counselor. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, they're sitting there, I'm sitting there. So tell me what's wrong. So did you think, you know what I'm saying? So it's very monotone. So with me, it's like, yo, what's good, fam? How you doing? All right, boom. We do our handshake. What's good? Boom, boom, boom. We can talk. I can relate to you on your level because all I tell you is that, listen, counseling is nothing but some conversation. I'm just going to show you different ways of looking at things through a series of interventions. You know what I'm saying? And I put it in very simplistic forms. I don't have to overcomplicate it. You know what I'm saying? And they gravitate to it and they get it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you. I mean, countless clients for years, you know what I'm saying? Even before I even took it seriously, you know what I'm saying? Because for real, I was like, I can counsel with my eyes closed. Like, it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if nobody can counsel with no eyes closed, brother. That's it. It's a job.
That's it. No, see, that's where I don't know. I kind of think differently. I hear what you're saying though. When you say it's a job, I don't think it's, I mean, that's fine, but I don't think it's not a job for me. Like, of course I get paid for it, right? But I have to think that I honestly feel like, and humbly speaking, I feel like I was created to counsel. I was created to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I tried other jobs and that's what felt like a job. But when I counsel, I don't feel
with you, Jay.
I'm working a job. I feel like
I'm with you. I'm with you.
The job is with the people though, like dealing with different personalities and stuff.
Yeah, that's a skill. That's definitely a skill.
So I don't know.
That's definitely a skill.
Yeah,
My thing is I understand where you're at. And I feel similar. I definitely feel similar. I'm a social person. I'm someone who I wouldn't say it's super easy to blend in with all different characters and stuff like that. I have been known to master the challenge.
Right.
Yeah, I've been known to do that. And I'm telling you that it takes some work to do those things. You know what I mean? I have rapport. That's for anybody listening, that's the connection, the therapeutic connection between the counselor and the client. I have developed rapport instantaneously, right away. And then sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 sessions to build an authentic rapport.
Sure.
But as a professional and as someone, with this task that takes on this task, I dedicate myself to the craft to get where we need to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I don't disagree with that. I just think that, if you was to look back, right, and you say all the different jobs you had, different things that you did, I can almost really, and if I'm being assumptive, I can almost guarantee that each job that you had was preparing you for this moment.
Yes, that's true.
And so that's where I'm saying that, I don't think when you were getting prepared, which means, and I don't want to put your business out there, but what did dude say? You was an exquisite barber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
So that there go the customer service, there go the listening skills, there go all the different things. Just like with me, right?
And Jay,
you know what I mean?
You did. I spent 8 years on stage too.
Oh, right, doing comedy. Right?
Yes,
right.
Comedy. Yes,
right.
Promoting comedy shows. And when the budget got tight, I decided to host my own shows, and I had a little bit of stage presence. I'm not saying that I was rocking, doing all that, but I'm saying I had some stage presence.
Yeah.
And I realized that I was a social person. You know what I mean? And I realized that formal education, I can actually tackle formal education. Didn't think that prior to. I didn't think I could pass a damn test prior to. But after a while, started to gain confidence, and now I've arrived. Now I'm a licensed therapist in this particular field. I'm telling you, you're right. Everything that I've had led me up to this. The thing is that I've never, and I can confidently say this, I've never ever had a career that I dreaded.
Okay.
Everything was the time of my life.
Well, that's
from being a barber, from being a barber to promoting comedy shows while I was this barber, to now transitioning into this therapist I am today.
Right.
I've had a ball.
Yeah.
Well, and the blessings that came through all of that is ridiculous, man. You know, I have a beautiful family, a dog, a house, car, just the basic, things. Food in the refrigerator, so on and so forth. And and the most important thing for me is the response I get from the community, the response I get from the clients, so on and so forth.
True indeed. True indeed. Like I said, I told somebody, and I meant it. I said, yo, listen, I want you to feel the love that I have for what I do. And if you don't feel it, then I need you to pull me up, because obviously something's wrong. Because I'm excited. I'm excited about healing and helping. I can't tell you how much I am. I'm excited for that. And I think part of it stems from is that sometimes I wish that, and maybe I did, and then maybe I just got to grow some more, whatever. And I have had great people in my life who've helped me or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you look back on your life and you say, you know what, if I had this, then maybe this would be different. But you can't really wish that, because, you know what I'm saying, if I wish something different, then I don't have my beautiful family, my children. I don't have none of that. That's why I think everything was purposeful and intentional for me to get to this place. And the place that I'm at is a place where, like I said, I love what I do. And I am who I am. So I'm a counselor when I'm here. I'm a counselor when I'm on the court coaching. I'm a counselor when I'm a public addressing. Everywhere I go.
You wear that hat.
It's not that I wear a hat. It's who I am, bro. It's not a hat that I wear. It's who I am. I don't know how to take it off, because it's not like, it's not something I put on, bro. Like I didn't put this on. I wanted to do music, brother. You know what I'm saying? My background, I got a whole studio. I wanted to do music. You know what I'm saying? But I had to choose, and even when I chose wrong, it still chose me. So
that with that being said, we had started on part 1 of our podcast. We had started off with a teaser on how we met.
Sure.
I want to give the listeners that information on how we met.
Right. So, and it is one thing that I'm actually, I'm a reveal, right? So we first met like in person or on the phone. We met on the phone.
We did?
Yes, that was our first year. And because I can't remember where I was on 38 driving, and we met on the phone.
All right.
I'm not even sure if it was like a 3-way conversation, Debbie, or with Lee. Can't even remember. Or maybe you called me or what. I don't know. I can't remember. But I know when we talked, we spoke, introduced, whatever. But then you was asking me a bunch of questions, right? Answering them. And it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying to myself at the time, like, cause you're licensed, you're mastered in the field. And it's been a minute since I have done that level of counseling as far as alcohol. So I'm saying to myself, like, oh man, my man asking me a bunch of questions. I hope I ain't going one-on-one shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, boom. And because like, our styles are similar, but a little different, right? So, I was like, whatever. But then when we met in person, and over time, as I think that, you got to know me and understand, my heart, and I got to know you and understood your heart, then I thought that we, really formed a connection, but really a connection to like really do like great work. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, you were the leader, right? And because I'm my own leader outside of that, I know what it is to follow and be a support because that's what I want and that's what I would want for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I think, maybe, first meeting and then introducing it was like, yo, it was a beautiful thing, man. I look forward to coming there and learning. And I remember early on, I would be looking up notes. I'd be looking up like stuff in my phone, like, all right, what we going to talk about? And I run it past you. And it really was because, like, again, I wanted to, build up it's been a while. It was, I hadn't been in the lab for so long.
Yeah.
So I had to, kind of figure that style out again. And I was able to do so and continue to learn. And I will continue to learn how to, continue to do that because I do groups, but I don't really do groups often. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, when I first started doing groups, that was the first time I did groups in over 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we first, at least from my vantage point.
Yeah, you were kind of antsy at the beginning. You were kind of antsy at the beginning. I don't want to say you weren't confident. I definitely don't want to say that. You were confident, but you wanted to be patient.
Yeah.
And as we went along, you saw the delivery was an authentic delivery, and you said, wait a minute. Okay. So you mean to tell me that I take this curriculum and deliver it my way? Yeah, you don't read from the shit. You deliver it your way.
Right.
I want you to be you, stay being you.
Right.
And deliver what you need to deliver, but deliver it in your fashion, in your way. Let them know who you are.
Right.
And you did that.
Yeah, I think over time I was able to do that. The more like you kind of took, you kind of took the approach where it's like, yo, you running the group, you doing this, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, all right, cool. And it was like, yo, I'd pray on it and just, figure out how to step up to the challenge, man. But I think the biggest thing is I wanted, because I know how this thing goes and I know how counseling is and I know how when it comes to, people following and respecting, a person's position and when people don't respect the person's position and whatever. And remember early on, I saw some nonsense with this other dude and how he was coming crazy or whatever the case may be. Remember that early on? So,
I'm trying to process what you, but never mind. Go ahead.
Remember, he crashed out. Remember, he crashed out, and then I had to have a little convo outside.
Oh, yeah. We definitely had to go out. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, you're right.
So when I saw all that and whatever, I just kind of was like, yo, you know what? I'm not that type of person. Like, I don't take constructive criticism personal. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be better. So I always try to establish relation. I'm a counselor, right? So I better know how to establish relationships, right? I better do that. It doesn't matter, just not with the client and therapist. I'm talking about in general.
Just in general,
relationship. That's what was my goal, was to let y'all know that, hey, I'm coming as a humble person wanting to learn, and whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't going to be no issue with that, where I know some people, they still have a lot of pride and ego and whatever, and, stuff like that. In fact, we was talking with somebody last night, and they were telling the story, right, about when they was in the barbershop, and they go get their hair cut all the time, and the dude is telling the barber, yo, this is what I want. I want this, I want that, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. The dude flipped on him, like, sometime, after a while, like, maybe, a year or two, whatever. I mean, he flipped on him and said, oh, listen, you know what? I find it offensive that you are telling me what to do or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, see, this
paying for a service.
I'm saying, see, and that's what I'm saying. See, the problem is that people are caught up in their own egos. I wish you would tell me, yo, don't tell me how to do my job. You cutting my hair, bro. How you gonna tell me what to do? Of course I'm gonna tell you what to do. Because if you don't do what I tell you to do, I ain't coming back up in this. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's different, and I wanted to present a humble person to not only you, to Leroy, to Miss Debbie, because it was something that I wanted. And I think anything that you want, you have to be in a humble place. You know what I mean?
Well, just as much respect as you have for us, we had the same amount, and even more respect for you because you were an adult. You were an adult, an established adult. You know what I mean? You came humbly. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And I wanted to give you everything I had. Seriously, I wanted it to pour into you what
Right.
I had, and which I think I did because
Absolutely.
I mean, look at the letters. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
You can
No,
look at it right now. So, my thing is that I wanted to be the leader that I wanted to have when I was going
no.
through the trenches.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
When I
right.
was in the trenches, Jay, and I don't mean to sound old because you might be my senior. I think you are my senior. But yeah, but when I was going through the trenches, it was abuse. You know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
just strictly abuse. You were carrying a high caseload,
Yeah,
and you were tasked
yeah.
with working overtime that you did not get paid for. You know what I
Right,
mean? It was viewed as intern hours, and I do not, and even it's just like on the this position that I have now, I had an intern who was damn near falling asleep.
see.
Yeah, single mother, damn near falling asleep. And I pulled her aside. I said, "Hey, man, what's going on?" She said, "Yo, I work overnight."
Right,
I said, "All right, if I offer you a position, you think you'll be up to that?
right,
Because I don't, I understand you gotta
right.
do this for your school, right?
Sure, sure.
But I want you to get paid for it. So how about I need some help here? How about you come on in here, help me
Right.
position?" She was happy. She was
That's
happy. She was excited. She was saying, now she's
right.
good. She's up doing her thing. And
That's what,
taking care of what she needed to take care of. But I always wanted to be the leader that I wanted when I
right,
was going through the trenches.
right. And
Yeah.
it comes with a sense of humbleness, man. So like, and that's really what I wanted to present. Like, y'all pour into me, and the best way for y'all to pour into me is if I come humble. If I
Mhm.
come, kind of egotistical, whatever, then we're not even going to get to the business at hand because now we got to work on the attitude and being able to, get influence and get information into me. One of the things, like, I had four walls, I had this, and that. But you could have never, even now, you can't tell that I got a counseling
Yeah.
agency and I'm doing my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I try to really keep it on a low, on a humble situation because I know at any given time when I can get egotistical, God is saying, yo, listen, you're done.
Yeah.
And I don't want that
Humble you
problem.
real quick.
I want to continue to do and live the life that I'm living. And I'm like, sometimes I look at myself and I look at my kids, look at my family, you know what I'm saying? I look at things and how we overcame and I'm just so humbly grateful because I got a son in college. I got a daughter having a sweet 16 coming up. I got a young daughter, 10 years old, that's doing great things. I got a 21-year-old son that, is in college, like I said. I got a 26-year-old daughter who's living her dream, doing here, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to do all that, you know what I'm saying, through the grace of God, man, when I didn't think I would ever be able to do so.
Bro,
It really,
it is a blessing. And
yeah,
I think that we connected on the strength of some of that.
sure, absolutely.
I think we connected on the strength of some of that because we both come from humble beginnings,
Mm-hmm.
um, and we both fought a hell of a fight to get to where we are right now,
True indeed, true indeed,
and still fighting to maintain the position and actually grow
true indeed.
within our respected careers. You
Right,
know,
right, for sure.
so yeah, I know what the future holds. You know what I mean, but I don't think that the public knows what the future holds. There is a large underserved community
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to drugs and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
There is a large underserved community that when I say we, I mean you and I are lacing our boots up to tackle. And I would like your permission to go ahead and expound on on some of the great things we are collaborating to do.
No, absolutely. Yeah, sure. You have my permission.
Yeah, most definitely. So, Jay, you and I are really about to go ahead and tackle this underserved community.
Oh, for sure.
We are about to give. We're about to serve filet mignon.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
For McDonald's prices.
That to me is saying that, if we break it down and flesh it out, what you're saying is that you're going to get quality.
Most definitely.
For less.
Quality for less. Quality for less. Yes.
Quality for less. And actually, I think I might use that as a slogan. Quality for less. That's pretty dope.
Quality for less. Yeah.
But that's what they're about to get, man. And my thing is always like that. To me, is the easy part. Mm-hmm. The hardest part is being able to sustain.
Yes.
And that's where my prayers go to say that, hey, no matter how much we do and how great a work we do, for mm-hmm. us to always be and remain humble, just like we are right now on this conversation. And that's really what I hope for. Like the skill, like you said, the talent, is going to take care of itself.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. But it's the discipline now. The discipline to stay focused. The discipline not to, get too egotistical. Because a lot of people do this work and they're really doing it for the money. You know what I'm saying? That's what's first on their mind. And I just don't think that that's the way that anybody needs to be. You know what I'm saying? I think that you focus on the purpose and then you chase that and the money will follow. You know what I'm saying? So I look forward to all the things that we're about to do. I mean, we're collaborating for this counseling thing.
Yes.
You're a writer too. I'm a writer. I actually think that we could even get creative on some things. You know what I mean? It's like we're at the genesis of everything. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while you meet some good people, right? And you're like, okay, this is going to be a sustaining relationship. Pause. Mm-hmm. But somebody that we similarity. We and that's what happens, right? You go along and you're starting to do the work, and then somebody else comes along starting to do the work, and then we partner. You know what I'm saying? Collaborate. You know what I'm saying? And now we're working together to do even greater work. And many hands make light work, man. So I look forward.
I look forward to it as well. Jay, man, I can sincerely say that I'm proud of you, man, and I'm proud of myself for meeting you.
I appreciate you.
You know what I mean? And I'm proud of what we're about to do. I'm proud of what we've done thus far. Sure. You know what I mean? I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future.
I am too. It took me a while though. I ain't gonna lie to you because, like I said, I've been grappling. But I ain't gonna lie. I had that interview today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I've been on like I don't know, like on another level. Like See, because, when you start doing something for so long, like guidance counselor, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could put that on cruise control and still be effective, right? Yeah. I've been doing it for so long, you know what I'm saying? But you realize it's like you kind of grow out of it, you know what I'm saying? And, I could be comfortable and just accept comfortability, or I could take a chance and say, you know what, let me leave the nursery because now I can grow even more outside of the nursery. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. And I also look at things as it's not just my growth. It's the growth of the community. I see missing pieces.
Right.
And the thing is that if I see missing pieces, I feel like it's my duty to go ahead and fill those voids.
Sure. Absolutely. So
it's about my growth, but it's more about what I can leave here. It's more about the legacy aspect of things and to say, her contributed to X, Y, Z, being put here in this community.
Right. All right, that's all back. But no, for real. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right, bro. Absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. I look forward to all the different things that we're going to be doing. I'll tell you that
Most definitely. So you got Jason Brice. You got 4 Walls. What else you got, Jay?
I got Counselor Brice, 4 Walls.
Counselor Brice.
I got Four Walls Productions,
Four
and
Walls Production.
you know, I got Four Walls Foundation, which is similar to Four Walls. I mean, they're all the same. One's a 501c3, one's a LLC. The LLC takes, you know, in-home community counseling, mentoring, BA. The outpatient does Medicaid, outpatient and regular insurance outpatient and sliding fee scale. You know, like I said, the speaking, the counselor Brice is, you know, I'm looking to get into like, you know, coaching or counseling or whatever. And then also doing seminars on helping, you know, individuals like, you know, try to be successful in business, you know what I'm saying? And to learn how to go about business and stuff like that, you know. And I had to, I mean, of course I had like you know, I had like my father was in business for years, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to learn, you know, just by watching him, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the other stuff I had to learn by going through it and learning firsthand. That's what I'm hoping to do for the future. And, you know, like I said, I'm excited. You know what I mean? If I wasn't excited before, I'm overly excited right now. I could tell you that much.
Most
There's a
definitely.
hunger in me. Yep.
Most definitely right now.
Yep.
That's the move. All right. Well, Jay, we about to wrap up, man. Is there anything that you want to give the people, man, before we roll?
No, I mean, I think the only thing I want to just, you know, encourage everybody out there. Listen, if you're not living the life that you want and you don't feel like you're living the life that God has granted you to live, then I'm going to ask you to look in the mirror and to be able to see outside yourself, because you should be living the life that you want. I understand that life can, you know, life is black and white until the color starts to come into the mix, right? But at the same time, you have to know you only go around one time. And while you're going around, other people that you're influencing, other people that you're responsible for are looking to see how you go. You know what I'm saying? So really, really take heed of what I'm saying and go live the life that you want, because you deserve it. It's not gonna be perfect. It's going to have its ebbs and flows, but ultimately, I want you to have that same experience of loving what you do. And I never thought I would get there, but I thank God I'm here. It took me a long time. It took me some pruning, some, you know, learning how to be disciplined, obedient. But, you know, I thank God that I'm here, man. And I want the same for you. So that's what I want to encourage everybody out there for.
There you go. There you go. Part 2 with Counselor Brice. You know what I mean? We gave you what you wanted, and we gave you what you needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that they knew how we met. I wanted to make sure that they knew what we were collabing.
Sure.
Hey, there we go. Counselor Brice.